Today, I'm going to be teaching you guys how you can make your first $1,000 with UGC as a small creator with 0 followers. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you guys are new here, my name is JC and I make lifestyle content, mom-based content, and on YouTube specifically, I talk about how you can make money as a small content creator online. So like I said in the beginning, I'm going to be teaching you guys how you can make your first $1,000 with UGC, and we're going to be going over the complete UGC guide and setup. This is all without having an online presence, so if you have 0 followers, then that's okay. This video is for you. Before we get started, I wanted to talk about what UGC is. If you are unfamiliar with what UGC stands for, it stands for user-generated content. So if you are looking to get started into UGC, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be creating ad-based or short-form-based videos for a brand. The brand will then take your videos and they will post it on their own social media accounts, or they will use it for ads, whatever they choose to do with it and whatever you allow them to do with it as well. Sorry y'all, I had to grab my baby because he was crying and wanted to be held, but that's okay. You can just join in on our fun. So like I was saying, you're going to be creating ads for these brands, and you don't even have to post them on your own social, so you don't have to worry about people seeing them or anything like that. It's completely work behind the scenes. This is perfect for those who don't necessarily want to be an influencer, or you want to create content and you like creating content, you just really don't want to put yourself out there like that. Then this is a great way to get started and make some money online. So now that you know a little bit about what UGC is, and if you've decided that this is what you want to do, then here's your step-by-step guide on how to get started. And your first step is going to be create your portfolio. Having a portfolio is a necessity if you want to get started with UGC, because this is what you're going to be sending to brands when you pitch to them. This will help brands decide if they like your content, and it will also help them decide if they even want to work with you or not. Making sure that you have a good portfolio set up and that you have all the right things included is very important, and so that's what I'm going to be teaching you guys in just a second. If you know me, then you know that I love Canva, and that is what I use to create all my portfolios. I actually just recently changed my portfolio up last night because I did not want my rates included, and I will explain why in a later part of this video. Also guys, I forgot to mention that I do have this video timestamped. This makes it super easy for you guys to skip around and find what you need, so go ahead and check the description box for all those timestamps. Also in the description box below, I have a link to a portfolio template for you guys. This portfolio helped me land tons of deals when it was up, so I have shared that down below, like I said, for you guys if you don't want to create your own and you want something super easy to add your information in. So now that we have all of that information out of the way, I'm going to be teaching you guys step by step on how to create your portfolio on Canva right now. All right, so like I was saying earlier, I love to do my portfolios in Canva. This right here is the portfolio that I created for you guys. If you would like to use it, the link is in the description box below. After you purchase my portfolio template, it will download this PDF that has 3 pages like shown. You are then able to click the link and it will bring you directly to Canva in your browser of choice, and then you can then edit and customize it from there. Like I stated already, this template is completely customizable. I have included little guides throughout the portfolio, such as the things that say your headshot photo here and then like describe your business here. You obviously don't want to keep those in your portfolio, so make sure before you publish it that you go through and delete all those things. I made this portfolio super easy for you guys, so literally it's just like a fill in the blank almost. You're just going to type in your information given the prompts. So now I'm going to go through the portfolio and kind of show you different things that you can do with it. So this is the video concept page. I have a place where you can show like the organic concept or the ads. If you have more videos that you would like to show off, then you can also duplicate this page and just change up the color of the background to match like the overall theme and stuff like that. When you're designing this portfolio, make sure to make it your own. So go in there, change up some of the fonts, move stuff around, add your own designs in there. Just really make it your own and personal, because we don't want everyone to have the same exact portfolio, because then it does not stand out. So if you're curious about how to add images, you're going to go to the upload section and upload your images, and then you can choose that image and drag it into the frame. The same goes for the videos. There's also like a video tab, if you can see, so just switch between the photos and videos depending on what you're putting into the portfolio. And like I was saying about switching it up, you can add elements. So here I'm in the elements tab and I'm just adding this random sparkle, and you can change the design, the rotation, you can change the color, anything you would like on that. Again, just really make it your own, because this template was never meant to just be a copy and paste. This was more just so you guys can get a general idea and then switch it up from there. All right, so moving on to the niche page, this is where you're going to write all the video concepts that you will do. So for example, you can write fashion, beauty, pets, parenting, whatever. And then in the middle is where you're going to write anything that you don't do. So if you don't have any pets, you can't make pet content, so you can put pets in there, or you can put like no adult products, no this, just really personalize it and make it clear what you do and don't do. Now moving on to the review page, here you're going to place any reviews that you have from previous work. Obviously, if you're a new creator, you might not have any reviews yet, so you can go ahead and hide this page or delete it for now and then come back to it when you do have some. You can also place any of your social media analytics or past brand collaboration analytics in the photo box as well. This page is probably my favorite page out of all of them. I love this so much. And again, you can delete this part right here because you don't want to keep that in your portfolio, so make sure you delete it. And here's the last page, and this is going to be your About You section. And here you can link things, and here's how you link. So you'll just go to the three dots and click More, and then click Link, and then you're going to copy and paste your link into that. And when the link is there and usable, it should be underlined. This is the page to just kind of final sell who you are and what you do. Again, just play around with this. You can add your photo. Again, with the links, you can also add a pretty unique description. And then when it says quote or CTA, CTA stands for call to action. So you can write like your favorite quote, or you can just write something like, let's work together, or book with me now, or something like that. And if you want to add any of your own pages, or if there's anything that you think I missed out on, then you can add another page as well. So when you're naming your website and choosing your domain, you can see here, this is my current portfolio, and I have the domain of jcgonzalezbusinessportfolio.com, and I have the title JC Gonzalez Portfolio. You are able to change this in the actual publishing of the website settings. So when everything is done and you're ready, then you're going to click Publish Website in the top right corner. And from there, you're able to upload your website, and you can choose a custom domain, which I did buy mine. I think it's like $15 a year, which I think is pretty much worth it because it stands out. They do offer free ones though. It's just that your domain is going to be like the name of your template, and it's going to say like mycanva.site or something like that. You can go over, make sure that it's going to look right on mobile and it has navigation, and that's pretty much it. If you are interested in purchasing this template, this is what the purchase site is going to look like, and you're just going to head over and purchase now, and it's only $5. This digital download does not just include the template, it also includes some little secrets here and there spread out. So for example, it's going to have a link to this video as well when it's uploaded, and then also it's going to teach you how to link your email to when they click it, it will actually open up Gmail and start composing an email, so that way you get more inbound emails. This portfolio template just contains a few little secrets that I don't share with many people, so it's definitely worth the purchase if you decide to do it. So again, head on over to my description box, and it's going to be the Beacon storefront link, and from there it's a super easy purchase, and you're going to get the entire PDF, and I really recommend this if you guys are just starting out for UGC. But that is pretty much it for the portfolio section of this video, so now let's go on to the next part. Now that you have your portfolio set up, you're probably thinking, now what do I do? So of course, to fill out your portfolio, you're gonna need videos. Since you probably don't have any brand deals lined up yet, you're gonna have to go around your house and find about 5 or 10 different products and just create UGC videos about them. This will just help you get some basic videos in your portfolio and help fill it out. And of course, you can replace these later once you start actually getting brand deals, but this is the best way to start out for right now. I also recommend signing up for Join Brands. I also have a link for that in the description below. But Join Brands is basically a creator platform where you can sign up for jobs, and if you get accepted, they will send you the product for free or for a reimbursement price. I don't use Join Brands anymore since I now have graduated to other platforms, but when I was first starting out, Join Brands was my favorite platform for getting brand deals and for getting videos in my portfolio. Now that you have a portfolio with videos, it is now time for your next step, which is going to be pitching to brands. Pitching to brands was the hardest thing for me to figure out personally, because your pitch can literally make or break a brand deal. But lucky for you, I have gone through all the trial and error myself, and I can now share with you guys what works and what does not. When pitching to brands, you want to keep it brand focused. You don't want to share too much about you because you don't want to come off as self-centered, because really the brand doesn't care about you yet. I know that sounds a little harsh, but what they are looking for is strictly what you can do for them. My mistake was definitely being a little selfish in my pitch, because I would always talk about what I can do, what my skills are, what I'm doing, instead of what I can do for them. The second mistake, and a very common mistake, is making your pitch way too long. When I first started out, I actually lost out on many brand deals because my pitch was too long. When I was first starting out, I was super excited, and I just had so much information that I wanted to talk about to these brands, and I would end up sending them essays and paragraphs in the email, which is definitely a no-go, and I should not have done that, but I've learned. I actually ended up messing up a brand deal because of this, because I got a reply in my first initial email, and then when they asked me further questions, I sent a big paragraph, and yeah, I eventually got ghosted by that brand for that reason. So don't make the same mistake I did, and just make sure your pitches are pretty short and keep them straight to the point and pretty concise, and only add the information that you actually need in them. As far as finding brands to pitch to, I have a couple of ways that I do this. The first way I do this is by using a website called Brands Meet Creators. This is a website that has all the brands right now that are looking for UGC. You're able to apply to these jobs directly on their website, but what I personally like to do is for some of the brands, I will actually go out, do my own research, and I will find their email specifically and then email them on my own. I only do this if it's a brand that I really want to work with, only because I want to make sure that my email is getting sent out there. And I know Brands Meet Creators does send the emails, but it's just a thing, like it's like a control thing with me, I guess. And sometimes I just want to make sure my email is getting to the right person, if that makes sense. Another platform that you can use to find brands is Coley. Coley is another influencer marketing platform, and basically they have tons of gigs on there that you can apply. They have influencer gigs, UGC. Personally, I have found Coley to be super hard in terms of landing jobs. I think in the 2 years that I've been on the platform, I've only landed one job. I still recommend Coley, even though it is hard to get jobs, just because it's good pitching experience, and also you never know if you might land the job or not until you try. So I just say keep applying and you can see what happens, you know. I would definitely recommend Brands Meet Creators over Coley because the job acceptance rate is much higher on the Brands Meet Creators side. Another way that I find brands looking for UGC is Facebook groups. I'm in about 3 or 4 Facebook groups for UGC creators and brands. In these groups, I will basically introduce myself and I will link my portfolio and talk a little bit about what I can do for the brand and a little bit about me. This allows me to put myself in front of brands that might be in these groups, and then they can then reach out to me through email or whatever. There's also a lot of brands that directly ask for UGC creators on these groups, so you can always apply to jobs there as well. And speaking of Facebook groups, I created my own Facebook group for content creators. It's called Content Creation Corner. I'm going to put that link to the Facebook group below, but I would love for you guys to join. I just started this group, so it is pretty small right now, but I'm trying to grow it because it is basically going to be a group where you can talk about all things content creation, and we can share tips and advice and also promote our socials and affiliate links or whatever, and just help everyone grow together. So if that sounds like a group for you, then go ahead and click that link below because I would love to see you all there. Another social media platform that is really great for finding UGC deals is through Reddit. I really love Reddit for landing UGC deals, and that's probably where I've gotten most of my deals, to be honest with you guys. Reddit is a very underrated site when it comes to UGC because everyone talks about Twitter, and personally, I never found any luck through Twitter. I always found my luck through Reddit. It's pretty much the same process as Facebook groups. You will join a UGC subreddit, and then brands will be posting about needing UGC creators, and you can also post yourself and introduce yourself, all that good stuff. With all these things that I mentioned, you're just gonna have to kind of play around and figure out what works for you, what doesn't. These are all the sites that have just personally worked for me, but like I said, just play around with it and see what happens. Now that I've talked about platforms and websites to find UGC deals, I'm going to be talking about outbound pitching a little bit more. I have a couple of email extensions on my Gmail account that have helped with my pitching. The first one being Mail Tracker. Mail Tracker allows you to see if that person has even opened your email, and it also allows you to see how many times they've opened that email and when they opened it up. This is a great tool to use because if brands are opening up your email, that means that your subject line is pretty good, and it means it's also not getting sent to spam. But if you're not getting replies, then this could be a problem with your pitch. So it's really helpful in just helping to tune up your pitch and making sure that your emails are even going to the right place and being opened. The second extension I use is called Clearbit. This extension allows you to find brand marketers' emails. Clearbit offers you 100 credits per month to search up brand emails, so in total this would mean you have about 100 emails that you can send. I believe that you can pay for more than that, but I've never personally used more than that. I think 100 is plenty. This extension is a lifesaver because if you guys have already tried pitching to brands, you will understand the struggle of trying to scour their website, DM the Instagram person asking for their marketing email or whatever, and this just cuts off all of that, and it makes it super easy to find the direct email that you need and email them right then and there. This next tip I learned through TikTok the other day, and it has been an absolute game changer in the way that I pitch to brands. And this is about when the best times of day and when to pitch to brands. I used to sit there and just pitch to brands whenever I had time, so I would write up my emails, send them, and I didn't even think about the times of day that I was sending them. But when I watched this video, they said that the best times to pitch were between Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays around their lunchtime, and this was absolutely genius the way that they explained it. Basically, they said that if you pitch on Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, and Mondays, on Fridays they are getting ready to end their work week and they're not as focused, which makes sense. And then usually people are not working on Saturday and Sundays, and then Monday when they come back to their office, their email's just flooded with all the stuff from the weekend that they missed, so your email will probably get trashed to the bottom. And this could be why you're not getting some responses, and I definitely think this was part of my reason why I did not get tons of responses back then. I used to send my emails mainly on the weekends because that was when I had times, or I used to send them on Monday thinking that it's the beginning of the week, they'll see my emails, and I used to send them in the mornings. And ever since I have changed my pitching strategy from what I used to do to sending them between Tuesdays and Thursdays between the afternoon time, my replies have actually skyrocketed, and I may not land those deals, but just the fact that I'm getting more replies means that this strategy works. Sometimes it might not be your pitch, it might just be the time and day that you're sending it, so try this out and let me know in the comments if it worked for you. I'm currently feeding my baby, so please ignore any noises that you might hear. But now that we've gone over some basic pitching techniques, we've got our portfolio, we've got videos in our portfolio, it is now time to talk about rates. I mentioned earlier in this video that I took my rates out of my portfolio not too long ago, and this is because I heard that if you have your rates in your portfolio, you could be missing out on money. When I had my rates in my portfolio, I do feel like I was losing out on money because the brands were going strictly off of my rates, and I actually found out that these same brands were offering creators way more. A lot of times brands can be sneaky, so if they see that you're offering a rate that is lower than what they would offer you, of course they're going to take that because they're going to get high quality content for less. Instead of including rates in my portfolio, what I will do is when I pitch to the brands and they respond, I will ask them if they have a budget and what they are proposing for the collaboration. And from there, we can either negotiate, so I can say, yes, that sounds great, or actually, no, that does not sound great, and just you can negotiate from there, and it makes it a lot more easier, and that way you're not leaving any money up on the table. So now moving on to how much you should charge, if you should charge, when, all that good stuff. I would say if you are just starting out on UGC and you have no experience, I would say do gifted collabs for maybe the first 3 or 4 collaborations. This not only helps you build up your portfolio, but it helps you kind of understand a UGC collaboration and get your hang of it and your foot in the door. After you get these first couple collaborations out of the way, you can then start moving on to paid. And what I did is I just worked my way up. So I went from gifted collaborations, and then I started going from like $25 per video. And then once I got a little bit better, I moved to $50 per video. And now I'm charging anywhere from like $100 to $300 per video. And as far as figuring out how much to charge, I would just say charge based on what you do and how much you think you're worth. For example, my editing is pretty basic. It's just like captions, cuts, a little bit of color correcting, things like that. But I know there are UGC creators out there who do these very complex edits, and those take a lot of time. So I would say if you're somebody that does that, then definitely charge more. Also, if it's a product that is going to take a very long time to set up, or if they want like the product to be completed, like let's say it's a painting kit and they want you to paint the product, definitely charge for how long that takes you. If it's something super and easy, so let's just say a pair of sunglasses and they need you to film a UGC video about it, and there's no setup, you're not going to do any fancy editing, then you can definitely charge less. Another way to figure out how much to charge is also based on what the brand is asking. So if they want your B-roll and they want your unedited footage, then definitely please charge for this. I had no idea to charge for this at the beginning, so I was definitely losing out on thousands of dollars because your B-roll and unedited footage is worth so much. The reason that brands want this unedited footage is that they can take this footage and create multiple different ads out of it. So basically you're giving them one video, but they're creating maybe 5 to 6 videos out of it. So this is just a tip too. If a brand is trying to ask you for your unedited footage and they're trying not to get you to charge for this, definitely don't give it to them and don't step out on it. Make them pay because they're going to be getting a lot of money from those videos, and that's definitely not fair to you as a creator. Another thing that you can also charge for is usage rights. Usage rights are basically how long a brand can run your ad for and how long you give them permission to use it. Some people do like 30 days, 60 days, a year, etc. And basically what this means is that if a brand wants to continue running your video after this certain point, they will have to pay you extra. So there's obviously a lot of different ways that you can charge for UGC depending on what the brand is asking for, what you are personally doing, all that good stuff. So I would just say, like I said in the beginning, charge what you think you're worth and charge for your time and make sure that you're getting paid fairly. And as far as gifted collaborations go, I will still take some occasionally. Like for example, right now, I have a collaboration for a facial steamer that was gifted. The only reason that I even accepted this is because I've always wanted a facial steamer anyways, and it's a product that I will continue and love to use after the video is done. But for a product that I wouldn't have really purchased on my own if I didn't get sent it by the brand, then I definitely will not accept just gifted collaborations, because at the end of the day, these gifts are not paying the bills, okay? The gifts are not making us money. We need to get paid fairly for our time because what we do is a job and it is a real side hustle for us, if that makes sense. All right, so now you've got your portfolio, you've learned how to pitch to brands, you've got some videos, you've got some collaborations under your belt. So now it is time to learn how to market yourself. Marketing yourself is very important when doing UGC because yes, you can probably make tons of money just by pitching brands and all that, But a lot of the times you have to learn how to market yourself because this will help in pitching to brands, but it also just helps get your name out there in front of different people. So when I say market yourself, I'm basically talking about making sure that you're promoting your business as much as possible and also just creating content on your own social media accounts. You don't have to create content on your social media, but I find that it really helps because I've gotten a lot of people that have reached out for UGC just based off what I do on my TikTok account, and I don't even have that many followers, guys, okay? I have under 500. So you definitely don't need a big of a following, but just showing that you are consistent in your social media posting, just showing that you know what you're talking about, showing that you can create good videos, it really helps showcase to brands what they can't find in your portfolio. And marketing yourself doesn't just have to be on social media platforms like TikTok or Instagram. It can also be through things like Fiverr and Upwork. I love using Upwork and Fiverr for marketing myself as a UGC creator. What I love about Fiverr is that the brands come to me, so I don't have to do any outreach because they're already coming to me based on what they see on my gig. But reaching out on Upwork is different than just straight email pitching because on Upwork, the jobs are already listed and their requirements are listed there. So based on that, you can even decide if this would even be good for you or not. I have gotten tons of deals through Upwork and Fiverr, and it's probably one of my most successful ways that I get UGC deals. So if you're not already on those platforms, then go ahead and sign up. I will link their sign up pages below. I'm not affiliated with them. I just really love them. Marketing yourself is also things such as adding your email to your bios on your social medias. Having your email in your bio is so important because if you don't have your email, then how are brands going to know where to reach you at? Another great way to market yourself as a UGC creator is just by adding UGC to your profile handle or even just in your bio. So for example, my TikTok is at JCUGC, and I also have UGC creator in my bio as well as my email. Having your account set up like this makes it super easy for brands to know that, hey, this person's name is JC, she's a UGC creator, and here's where I can contact her. It's such an easy tweak and fix to your account, but it makes a huge difference. Another way to market yourself through your social medias is by posting your UGC examples if the brand allows it. There will be some times when you work for a brand and they might say, hey, you can't use this video in your portfolio or you can't post this anywhere. So just make sure that you're reading your guidelines. But most of the time, brands will allow you to use these videos as you please. And what I recommend doing with them is just posting them on your social media account so that way brands can see your past UGC examples, and it will also help you just grow a following as well. That was all my tips and tricks on how to become a UGC creator as a beginner and make your first $1,000 online. I hope that you all found this video helpful and that you learned tons of tips and tricks today. If you haven't already, then don't forget to like this video and give it a big thumbs up, and also comment down below and subscribe and hit the post notification bell because I post new videos every single Sunday. We are so close to hitting 3,000 subscribers on here. I can't believe it. That is insane. I'm super grateful for all of those that tune in to watch my videos every week. I love you all so much. Don't forget that I do have that portfolio template linked in my bio, as well as that Facebook group too. Again, I would love to see all the fellow content creators join that Facebook group so we can all help each other grow and succeed in our career. If you have any videos that you would like to see from me next, then please feel free to comment that in the comment box below because I'm always looking for new video ideas. But anyways, I think that is it for this video, and I love you all so much, and I will see you guys next Sunday. Bye!